The Dallas Cowboys find themselves under the microscope once again, and this time it's ESPN casting the light. In their latest roster rankings across the NFL ASP, it evaluated the league from top to bottom strengths, weaknesses, and X factors included. But what stunned many fans was just how low the Cowboys landed. Not in the top 8, not in the top 16. Instead, they slid all the way down to number 18. 18. That's behind the Arizona Cardinals, just ahead of the Steelers. When you hear that number, it's not just a ranking, it's a reflection of national skepticism. The NFC, which was once seen as top-heavy, seems to have more perceived depth now than the AFC. But this is about more than numbers. It's about respect, and Dallas is once again fighting to prove the critics wrong. If there's any silver lining, it's that they still ranked ahead of the Giants. And in the hearts of Cowboys Nation, that's a small victory worth savoring, especially in the middle of a fiery NFC East sub-battle. ESPN did throw Cowboys fans a bone, though. When identifying the team's biggest strength, they pointed squarely at the wide receiver room, and with good reason. CeeDee Lamb is already elite, putting together 3 straight 100-yard seasons and leading the entire NFL in receptions since 2022. At just 26, he's not only in his prime, he's elevating. Now enter George Pickens. Yes, that George Pickens. The big play receiver who had to navigate inconsistent quarterback play in Pittsburgh still managed to top 800 yards in each of his 3 seasons. Now paired with Lamb, Dallas has the potential for a devastating 1-2 punch. Suddenly, Jalen Tolbert no longer has to stretch himself as WR2, he can settle into his natural role as a third option. Turpin becomes the gadget guy, a matchup nightmare in open space. Mingo can grow without pressure as a War 5. When you add Pickens to this mix, everything clicks into place. The wide receiver room, once a point of concern, now feels like one of the deepest and most balanced units on the roster provided Pickens plays up to his ceiling. But just as the Cowboys' biggest strength has solidified, their biggest weakness has become glaring. The running back position has undergone a dramatic transformation, and not necessarily for the better. Out goes the dependable Rico Dowdle, and in comes a 3-man rotation of Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, and rookie Jaden Blue. Williams, once seen as a rising star, has struggled mightily since tearing his ACL in 2022. Sanders, after 2 forgettable seasons in Carolina, is clinging to the hope that his Week 18 resurgence was more than just a flash in the pan. Then there's Blue, a 5th-round rookie with upside, but rawness. Yes, he brings juice, and yes, he could be the spark that ignites the room, but depending on a late-round rookie for meaningful carries in a crowded backfield is a gamble. The position doesn't lack bodies, it lacks identity. And in an offense that needs balance to unlock its full potential, that uncertainty at RB looms large. Now the offensive line, the lifeblood of any offense, becomes the X factor that could make or break this season. ESPN spotlighted the right side of the line as the key, but in truth, the entire unit carries weight. Seth Walder's analysis hinges on Tyler Booker and Terrence Steele performing as average pass protectors. But there's more to the story. Tyler Guyton, the rookie, must develop fast. Cooper Beebe must prove his dominance, translates from college to Sundays. Tyler Smith is entering a critical point in his development. If those 5 can stay healthy, grow together, and establish chemistry, this offense could hum. But that's a massive if. Only one of them has been paid. The rest are on rookie deals. And while there's potential plenty of it, there's also risk. This unit could become one of the league's top groups. Or it could become the anchor that sinks the ship. And as if that wasn't enough uncertainty, there's the linebacker room, where Jack Sanborn has surprisingly emerged as a potential starter, at least until DeMarvion Overshown recovers from his knee injury. Sanborn followed defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus from Chicago and has already earned first-team reps alongside Kenneth Murray in nickel packages. That's not nothing. It speaks volumes about what the staff thinks of his versatility and reliability. But once Overshown returns, all bets are off. What's more, ESPN labeled Sanborn a non-starter, yet he might just be leading the depth chart right now. It's one of many roster gray areas, like cornerback. With Trayvon Diggs still recovering, the second starting corner is anyone's guess. Darren Bland is one option, but so is Khair Elam. Could it be Savion Red if healthy? Or even Israel Mukwamu or rookie Kalen Carson? None are sure things. And that's what this team is full of right now, question marks waiting to become answers. Even the starting lineup ESPN laid out for Dallas feels up for debate. Dak Prescott at quarterback is obvious, as is the top trio of wideouts Lamb, Pickens, Tolbert. But having both Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue listed at running back? That suggests some creative usage ahead. Blue, in particular, could carve out a role as a third down back, catching passes out of the backfield. But we won't truly know until the pads come on at camp. Same with the offensive line: Gayton, Smith, Beebe, Booker, Steele. All penciled in. None locked down. On the defensive side, it gets even murkier. Micah Parsons, Osa Odigizua, and Maisie Smith headline the line, but who's starting opposite Parsons? Marshawn Nealon might get the nod as a better run defender, but higher-paid veterans like Dante Fowler could command more snaps. And don't forget, Sam Williams explosive, yet inconsistent. The DE2 job might be decided not by talent, but by role and rotation. Even safety and linebacker aren't immune to shakeups. Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson are currently the projected starters at safety, but watch out for Wanya Thomas or Marquise Bell. They're lurking, waiting for an opportunity. Meanwhile, Kenneth Murray and Jack Sanborn top the linebacker depth chart for now. But Overshown will be back eventually. Damone Clark and Shamar James could also push for roles as the year progresses. It's not just competition, it's chaos. Controlled, calculated chaos. The kind that either forges champions or reveals weaknesses. As training camp approaches, the Cowboys face a pivotal stretch. ESPN's rankings might not respect them. Pundits might be skeptical. But in Oxnard, under the summer sun, answers will come, and so will the truth about this roster's ceiling. And as all of this unfolds, the biggest wild card of all might be Mike McCarthy himself. After yet another playoff flameout and an off-season reshuffle of his coaching staff, McCarthy enters 2025 with no more excuses. He's got a new look offense that's faster and more versatile, a defense that's primed to wreak havoc under Zimmer's aggressive design, and a quarterback in Dak Prescott who is in a contract year with everything to prove. The pieces are here not perfect, but promising. But the question remains, can McCarthy be the one to put it all together when it matters most? Because for all the talent and youth and upside, none of it will matter if Dallas crumbles again when the lights shine brightest. The NFL isn't about potential, it's about results. And this season may very well define not just McCarthy's future in Dallas, but the fate of a core that's been on the brink for far too long.